Well, what I'd like to really work on is this underlying subconscious anxiety that I feel like I have. And sometimes I think it was my parents' anxiety. And maybe this is a little selfish, but I like to have my own. Mm-hmm. And I really don't want any anxiety, because particularly now I'm caregiving my first husband who's got pancreatic cancer. Mm-hmm. And I just need to be present so I can not only serve him, but serve myself. And this is something I've chosen to do. And I'm very happy to do it. He's doing, pretty well day by day. But it's still a lot of pressure. Right. And a lot of things to do with working with herbs and healers and, points of view.
Are you the primary caretaker?
I am primary.
Okay. So that's certainly anxiety provoking.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else that you think that might be going on that is unresolved from prior to dealing with your ex that might be a layer of anxiety?
No, as a matter of fact, Barry and I have never been so close. It's really pretty wonderful. Yeah, it's really wonderful. And I do have this wonderful ability of being present for everybody that I love. Mm-hmm. And it's a great gift, and it's taken a toll on me because I've done a lot of caregiving, with my husband and my father, then my mother, and had some time off, and now with Barry. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if you ever really recover.
Right. That's what I was going to ask you about past stresses, past traumas that might have kind of like a bedrock of anxiety in there is still.
I think that's true. I think that there is it's like the kinesthetic memory mm-hmm. in my muscles, in my bones, and as happy and go lucky as I can be, there's still this thing there. And I think it's
how do you know it's there, Shel? What is it?
I feel it like mostly in my gut. It takes very, very little for me to not feel well. Mm-hmm. And I was doing quite well with all of that stress. I had healed it, and now it feels like I'm back again. So, because my body seems like it's kind of breaking down. Trouble with the knees, and the weight feels like I have just put on a lot of weight, and I don't feel as healthy as I could be, mm-hmm. even though I eat pretty healthily, and I don't eat any junk or anything.
Are you moving? You physically moving or exercising?
Not as much, of course, as I want to, because I've had so much trouble with my knees. Mm. And that's because I decided to fix my dryer hose, and I squatted down for an hour and blew out the back muscles of it was foolish. Ow. So now I have to go, okay, I could fix that, but I'm not going to, mm-hmm. and call for help. Good. So I'm learning how to call for help. This has been a terrific lesson in reaching out.
Well, today let's call for help.
Yes.
From the part of you that is infinite and wise, that knows what you need to release these anxiety patterns that are contributing to your stress, your weight.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Very happy.
So the way that we can probably best facilitate it is to use a neurotech, which you've got on your hands, which balances your brain, and to be trusting that your higher self knows what you need, and to just invoke it, to ask it to come forward, and to release any patterns that are in your way from feeling more centered and whole.
Okay.
Okay? So let's kind of get a gauge of how, from 0 to 10, how much anxiety you think you're experiencing on a daily basis on the average. 10's the worst.
Right.
And 0 would be being connected to your core self that's anxiety-free.
I would say it goes anywhere from automatically, for the second I wake up, it can go from, let's say, a 5 to an 8. Okay. And that could be from the minute I step out of bed and I go to the bathroom. That's how quick it comes.
Okay.
At least I'm learning now that that's where it is. It's so deep. And by the time I get to the bathroom, I'm belching, I've got a slight pain in my stomach. So I know some of my emotional aspects are going on there.
Do you sense it ever gets below a 5?
Yeah, like later on in the day. Morning seems to be the hardest time. Hardest time for me to move through it, physically move through it. and emotionally and spiritually to move through it.
Okay. So the morning's your hardest time. Okay. So you will know from our session today if this shifts by observing when you get out of bed and head to the bathroom what the level is.
Yes.
If it goes from a 5 to an 8 normally, tomorrow morning check it out.
I will.
Let me know how it goes.
I will.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So do you have any questions about this process before we get started?
I don't think so.
If you do, speak up on your own behalf if you have any needs during this process, if you want to stop, if you can't understand me, if you need a break, if you don't want to go there, you're in charge.
Okay.
I'm your tour guide, but you're driving.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to start by asking your higher self and all of its wisdom to be here for you today, to support you in your wholeness, and to bring to consciousness anything that's in your way of being whole and anchored to that core self, that inner wisdom, that is absolutely trusting and knowing of all that is, and knows that everything is divine and perfect the way it is, including you. And I know you know that part, because I know you've had connections with it before. So we're going to call it here to support you today. And to begin, you can start by remembering that experience of awakening in the morning and moving from a 5 to an 8, feeling it in your gut, that undercurrent, that unconscious anxiety that gets activated, that physiologically expresses itself through your body. So just hold an awareness of that for a moment. You can use all of your inner senses. Just be with it. Give it space to be with your awareness. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to report the first thing that comes into your awareness. And it'll be one of 5 things. It'll be a thought, an emotion, a body sensation, an image, or a memory. So as you focus on that early morning anxiety, what's the first thing that comes up for you right now?
Well, I could feel it right in around my waist, and it feels as if I had an extremely tight belt on, but it's only in my stomach area. It doesn't go around my back or anything. It's real tight, really, 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 really tight. The muscles are pulling in, and almost can't breathe.
I can see that you're kind of focusing on the difficulty of your breathing. So stay with that awareness for a moment. Just go with what is right now. Know that nothing stays constant with this process. Everything will emerge and shift. So as you focus on the tightness around your stomach and the difficulty with breathing, what comes up right now? Next thing.
What comes up is I can't fix it. I can't fix it in reference to myself.
Yeah.
And it's like out of my hands as much as the cancer is out of my hands. I could pray.
Okay.
And
so stay with that sense that you can't fix it.
I can't fix it.
Stay with that awareness and all that comes up with that awareness. You can't fix it.
It's like falling off something, like a fence or something, backwards. You're out of control. I feel very much out of control.
Okay.
Dizzy, nauseous now.
Okay. So stay with that sense of being out of control.
Yeah.
Falling backwards.
Don't like this feeling at all.
Don't like that feeling. Just breathe into it. Now, what would happen if you just let yourself go with that sense of just falling? Just go with it for a minute. You can't do anything about it. It's just happening to you. It's really hard to fall back.
Then I start belching.
It's okay. Let it come.
Let's lay back. Well, I just feel afraid. It's kind of like a double. Two things are going on.
Yes.
One is I'm afraid. The other thing is I know that I'll get caught. I'll be catched. If I fall, I'll be picked up, or I'll fall onto something, and everything will work out. But it's the getting to that place.
Yes.
And it's
And
trusting.
that's where the fear comes up.
That's where the fear comes up.
Okay. So before you're there, just let yourself be in the fear of the getting there.
Okay. Oh, this is totally not easy. This terrible pressure in the back of my head.
You're feeling pressure. Just breathe into it. Now, if higher self...
Oh, I know what this reminds me of.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, it reminds me of when I fell. I dove into a pool when I was, I don't know, 10, 11.
Yeah.
Maybe I was 8. I don't remember. All I remember is going forward, and I hit my head on the bottom of the pool. And I can see myself jumping into the pool now. But I see myself laying like this backwards, laying down in the bottom of the pool.